give you a cheeky one-way for outside. To throw the smoke, get into the corner next to this door.
Too much for 9Z to get over or go around, but somehow they always find a way.
Somehow they keep finding a way. They're the little team who never ever seemingly seem to give up. And I've already said I'm a 9Z fan. And listen, Ancient can be hard, right? It can be very suffocating. But Nuke is a map where, look, here's the thing. For a new team, especially with 2 new members coming in IGL shifting, Nuke is a very hard map. Especially when you really haven't had much time to prep. So even though it's not going to be starting on the CT side, I don't think it's ever going to be easy considering FURIA dismantled Order 16-4 earlier. But here we go. FURIA wasting no time, wresting control of ramp very early on. And they do have 2 defenders downstairs.
DGT, the absolute beast, the animal, the Terminator throughout this one. Trying to get it started with a pistol kill, but FURIA are going back up the ramp already. Looking. Just holding down from hell. Yuurih will fall. An advantage siding here already with 9Z. Can they hold on to it? In fact, can they extend upon it? Max gets caught and damaged up, but no kills yet for FURIA.
Strange round. The bomb is making its way back down. Luken catching safely. That's important. If he's able to somehow stay alive, this could be massive. He needs to win this duel. Has time for the reload. They know exactly where the final 2 players are. 1 remains, and Luken with a massive 3K. A bit of a strange round. I'm putting that very mildly. A bit of a strange approach coming in there for FURIA. That looked very, very chaotic. And usually FURIA thrive in chaos, but this time 9Z shutting it down.
Maybe he's just trying to panic 9Z in this round and like see how they're able to deal with some chaotic rotations. But the cool thing about 9Z is they didn't bite down on anything. Look, it's just ready for them to come in through hell. Easy pistol in the end, actually. Once that bomb goes down, FURIA were disjointed. You couldn't really congregate back to do something with that. And because they didn't even get to the site, they didn't get a bomb plant, which means they can't get that good force buy in the second round. So this should be 9Z off to a good start with 2-0.
FURIA, just a pistol and deagle. Can you imagine a world? Like, firstly, we have another banger of a semifinals coming up next, right? We have Complexity, the NA Hope going up against the might of the Virtus Pro, and the VP have looked great, right? They didn't drop a single map. They're already in the semis. For Complexity, it's been a little bit of an up and down affair, but you know they were able to scrape some very exciting matches we saw yesterday, but they're able to make it there. That's going to be a hell of a game. But imagine a world where the winner of that game is going to be going up against 9Z. They're going to be surprised. Like, wait, what?
We did not expect.
We didn't prep for that. We didn't prep for that. We watched all the FURIA demos as Rox is going to come charging around the corner. It does get dinged, but MP9 should still come out on top. There we go.
Order watched all the FURIA demos. Didn't work for them, so.
Listen, at that point, yeah, I wouldn't even watch FURIA demos.
Just go ahead and see what
This is a classic example of, you know, the cliche. All right, well, we need to interview any IGL for some of these teams. So what are you going to do for this game? Oh, we're just going to play our game. You know, we're not going to
hit our shots.
Headshots and such. But in the case of FURIA, I think it kind of makes sense. But jokes aside, here we go. Buy going to be coming in. Well, it's a bit of a light buy utility-wise. Yuurih going to be down just to the MAC-10 just so he can afford an extra smoke and a flashbang for his team. But it's going to be a fast hit coming out here all the way to
DGT
with the FAMAS. He's still going to stick around, Dinko, and that's I'm not too sure about that. Finds one, but he gives up ramp control.
He was to his position late. What else could he do, really? So at least he gets away with one. Max trades it out as well, so down to the 3v3. Luken has already made this early rotation down to the window room at B. Rox is there with him, so they do have numbers here in 9Z, and that's going to make it a little more uncomfortable for FURIA to get down into the site. Yeah, I'm taking the time because they've got plenty of it here, FURIA.
They do have a lot of time, and the problem is the 2 CTs presence very close by Luken.
A lot of utility as well for the CTs here, but...
Yep, and they still have another player outside, and he can start making his way down. He's very far away all the way towards red. That is, of course, Max. So you need to make a little bit of haste. Molotov going to be lobbed in. Art trapped in the corner, but he's got drop to back him up.
Oh, this is going to be an explosive retake attempt, but Art might just take out one of those players first. He will. Quick trade from Luken. At this point, 9Z have got to go, and you got to deal with Kesserado up in these rafters as well. It's not an easy position to force out. As the time takes on, 9Z's chances begin to dwindle away. Luken goes for the 1v1 fight, and will go down. Kesserado removes him. 1 round for FURIA. The gun round, it's pure pace, right? It's Brazilian flares they charge down the ramp room.
Yeah, I would have liked DGT to kind of, once he went for that initial duel, to just fall on down. It's okay to give a ramp control. Right? Just play lower. The rotations are very quick coming in from 9Z. At the very end over there in that in the 3v3, the fact that KSR's position in the rafter was unknown, that slowed down 9Z. Because they knew where one of the players was, where a drop was, but they had no idea where KSR was perched. And that took so much time. And in the end, yeah, they ran out of time. They had to just go in for the play. And speaking of going for the play, it is going to be FURIA. Art leading the charge, spots the player up top.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of a wild spray, but he will find David. They still know there's a player behind, and it is going to be Rox with the FAMAS, able to find one. Luken chipping in one of his own 3v3, but yuurih comes charging out the Ferrari peak, and DGT is no more.
Max and Luken now have to look to the 2 versus 3 retake. They don't have utility for it, and Maximiliano starting to flank around the backside. If he can get in lobby quick enough, but it looks like it's just going to be dropped back into T-spawn. Not in a position to do much here, so saving what they've got. Kesserado, oh no, he's taking Looking out. I'm sure it's only a moment of time before he decides to look for Max and spawn, and Max is in a good position to take Kesserado out, and he will do that. That's an upgrade to an AK if he wants it. But maybe just dropping back deeper into spawn is the correct call here. Just get that M4 into the next confirmed. And it is FURIA who now tie up the scoreline, and that is another just very quick play to get FURIA into it. Art just charging through, realizing 9Z likely don't have the utility to slow them down and force FURIA into the halt, and it works out for them.
I do like the conviction coming out from FURIA on this particular hit. And look, here's the thing. They knew the buy was going to be light for 9Z. They could have tried and baited out the limited utility they had, right? They could have gone for a little bit of a slightly slower hit coming in.
Yeah.
But they're like, screw it. We're just going to be smoking off that incendiary they lobbed in towards Squeaky and just brute force, a vulgar display of power coming in from FURIA. Trying to set the pace here. AK is bound for all 5 members for the side of 9Z. That's just the A1 in the hands of Mighty Max and his 4 compadres with the 4 USPs.
Good start.
Good start. Can you find
Sure,
more?
I'm sure Alan is loving the reference of Mighty Max. Let's get flashbacks to his endpoint scrims.
Shout out to Mighty Max. Shout out to UKCS.
Shout out to Alan
Hendricks. Alan Hendricks.
Alan Hender.
Alan Hender. Alan, don't call me Alan Hender. Hender. Safe. Takes away Max, but that M4 was able to be retrieved by Luken as he drops down to safety. The problem being none of the other players have any armor to speak of, so aim punch will be a bit of a problem here. 3 players upstairs, but DGT with an AK picked up. That's the bomb drop. Now, they still have a lot of time to work with, but DGT alone, the timing is atrocious, and Kesserado, the savior for FURIA. Now, there was a bit of a danger there, Dinko, but it has swiftly been swept aside by Kesserado and yuurih.
Yeah, now FURIA head to the lead with that. 9Z not expected to get too much out of that round, but here comes the buy round once again for them. We look to the rifles. No AWP yet for 9Z. Safe yet to pull his big green out. We'll see if that comes on a little later, as I'm intrigued to see that. I think Safe was displaying just pure fun for spectators' perspective. Really, he was just so entertaining to watch on the CT side. He can be a big threat. I think another threat we have to talk about with FURIA is Kesserado. This guy has world-beating power on this map in particular.
Yeah, I mean, Kesserado is one of my favorite players to watch. Like, I know we talk about Art a lot because of how absolutely ludicrous he can be at times. That Kesserado is that star for this team, right? He's a consistent star, always delivering, no matter what the circumstances might be. As we do have a multitude of flashes just popping up towards that upper side, and it's going to be Art with the trade drop. Is going to find Max as well. And suddenly, man advantage and that upper bomb side just run over. Rox is aware of Kesserado's position. Oh, he needs to find a kill, which he will. But Safe in the meantime finding DGT, making this retake even more problematic. They have a smoke and a flashbang. Bomb yet to make its way towards the side. They've actually opted to head all the way back towards ramp. Thing is, they have so much time. But Rox going for this information place is going to convey the information to his other teammate that, hey, it's going to be a lower play coming in, and Drop just holding the angle. This should be a FURIA round, no matter how you look at it, unless Rox finds the kill, but doesn't quite pan out.
And 9Z don't get a whole lot done here, unfortunately. FURIA starting to get into the system. We talked about this on Ancient in the second half play. You pointed out this very good point of the fact that 9Z have never had to play against FURIA when they're on a streak of round wins.
Yep.
How do you shut FURIA out of that snowball? Because when you listen to FURIA interviews, one of the interviews they give right after they finished their first game was against Order. Is how do you feel that went? Are you happy with the performance? They said, yes, we realized the game plan we need to do is get a good start and just snowball them. That is exact words Art used. So this is the mentality they want to use against some of the teams that should be weaker than them. And if you let FURIA start building that bloody snowman, it's gonna become very scary.
Yeah, it's gonna just spiral out of control for the side of 9Z. And you gotta remember as well, Nuke, firstly, CD side. Your weaponry is more expensive. The utility is more expensive. Then you factor in Nuke, where a map, you need us incendiaries, you need us smokes to prevent the T's from going for these plays. And then suddenly you're faced with the fact that you need a lot of cash all the time. And if FURIA continue just breaking the economy, and even when max loss bonus comes into play, you're not going to go for a full-fledged buy with $3,400 in play, right? You want to have like 5K, 6K sometimes in your coffers before you go for the purchase. So yes, 100% FURIA, just steamrolling 9Z could be a problem. And the fact that FURIA aren't respecting the utility being lobbed in for 9Z, that's what they need to fix right now. Because playing retake for 9Z, I don't think they have quite figured out the protocols yet with 2 new players coming in.
Yeah, and it's hard to do that, especially on Nuke and how deep your map pool needs to be when you're in a competition like that and you've made it this deep when you're playing against some of the better teams in the world. But looking very good start in this round. 9Z have the advantage. Art down early, so his aggressive play not working at the beginning of the round. And so FURIA slow it down. Safe. Oh, nice shot. Brings Luken down towards the back of Garage. We go just over 1 minute. Safe hits the follow-up. Max tried to back away, but got stuck on the wall. Safe is not going to miss those shots. He's even looking for more, but when he does miss, it's yuurih who's immediately there with a swing around. The spacing just looks better for FURIA right now, Blythe, than it did earlier today.
And look at them slowing things down as well, but oh my lord, they're missing nothing.
Yeah.
Spacing is fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's safe with an AWP at T side. Now, yeah, sure, there was a caveat that the buy from the side of 9Z wasn't like a full-fledged investment, right? But still, the way they won it so very convincingly. 5-2. This is why we said, this is what even the desk said early on. Ancient and Nuke are 2 maps that FURIA are going to be super comfortable on. We didn't expect Mirage to go their way as well. But the moment I knew 9Z had a chance of winning the series, it had to have been an Ancient. Because Nuke, it's so frustrating to play against FURIA.
And it's so difficult when you're a team that's just lost your IGL, having to rebuild with this new project. Nuke is a map that takes a long time to sort of figure out properly what your playstyle is on this map, all the intricacies, and you're playing against a very complex team that plays an unorthodox playstyle. There's a whole lot that needs to go into this. You have to be very confident in your own Nuke to go up against FURIA and succeed. But 9Z right now, they've got the buyout, they've got that AWP in the hands of Luken, and we have talked about this guy at length, about how good he can be with that AWP.
El Toro. Time to shine. Time to ram it into FURIA.
And now DGT holding down the ramp play. Not really peeking per se for the information, just holding it down as we go under 1 minute. Smoke execute from FURIA goes to the deep variation that covers off Garage and front main, and that does give Art a little bit of space to try and isolate this player in back Garage. His teammates have actually thrown a smoke that has a gap on this left side, so Max is going to try and play with it. He's going to try and wrap around, and yuurih's caught for free, and Art has slipped the net. Ships in the night as they cross each other through the smoke, but Art will trade that. He'll trade that kill for position. But now he really has to make it work because you've lost 2 players, you've sacrificed your teammate, and you need to get into heaven. If Art gets behind them, they will have no idea how this was even possible.
Oh my god.
Art, the mad genius, he's not going to see him!
Doesn't matter!
He's in heaven though. He had a chance for an easy free kill, but he's going to kill the Huck player, and now his position so strong, he's going to look for the follow-up in the site. Flash goes down. Safe has killed his teammate. Art finds another one, and it's Dave down.
Okay.
And now Art is looking in the clutch alone. He's 1 versus 3. He has to drop down. That sound cue made in the time. Art can't die after it. He has to run away. And what a disaster. What a weird round. I'm just so confused.
Imagine you're rocks, right? And you just like look up to heaven and there's Art looking at you. At this point, you're convinced that Art is some shaman magician. Like he's got some dark powers given by Lord Gaben himself, and he can literally teleport.
He's got the Portal 2 gun.
He's like the Omen in CSGO, just like he's going to TP all the way towards heaven.
It is ridiculous, but
they win the round. They win the round.
Safe killed his own teammate. He killed Casterado. Ran out of time. FURIA it wasn't a very good round, let's be real. So it really is the first time out for FURIA, first time they feel a little uncomfortable. So going to the timeout just to kind of reset from that round. 9Z's buy, still good, still looking fancy with the AWP in the hands of the luken. FURIA, gotta keep eyes on that clock. And ready to set up again. Last round, went for the deep outside smoke execute variation. A couple of variations you could do with that outside execute. Do the close red ones. We're setting up a flash quick. Is this a quicker play for FURIA? Certainly is. They're charging down towards the vent. They're out on the A side. Being held back by the door already, but one player has got down to the lower side. Drop! Can't drop down, in fact. Gets killed on the way down the vent.
This is something that's worked out for FURIA time and time again, so they're going for it once more. DGT is so very fortunate to still be alive. His body just pierced by shards. One lick from the flames, and he is no more for this world, but he's going to fall back to safety here. Lower control has been seized by FURIA, but they're yet to pounce upon it, right? They're being very, very methodical.
Yes.
Still a lot of utility to work with, and that's what I like from FURIA. They speed it up, they slow it down, and that makes 9Z feel uncomfortable. But this two-man info play coming in here, this could be big. K-Serrato, his spider sense should be tingling right now.
He's got a little tickle.
There we go.
Up to a rise. K-Serrato, can he hold it? Oh, he looked away for a second, comes back. Nice little flick back from K-Serrato to bring down rocks. Numbers now again even. But Art is removed. Max still up in these hallways towards the window. This is not comfortable for FURIA. Two players on the upper side though, and that is David, who will be tasked with holding it from CT vent. Molly's going to force him away, and in fact, they go down the vent. Safe is the player with the bomb on his back, and Max, he spots out the bomb. He does damage to Safe, but he can't bring him down. He can't bring down the sniper. But that bomb has to get to the site eventually. Blind, they're backing into K-Serrato. Luken removes him, helps out his teammate, but the time, 20 seconds. There's a gap in the smoke, and that's an easy kill for Luken. And yuurih, oh, he's removed as well. 4 kills for Luken, and that's why you get a big green in his hands.
What a massive, massive round coming in from luken over there. It got a little awkward. I understand what FURIA were doing there. Maybe I think they really wanted to go for that upper play, but then I realized we have so much control. What are these shots from luken? Saving his teammate as well there. And the final flick, just beautiful stuff coming out from the AWP, the South American AWP, making FURIA bleed there. And finally, Dinko, it looks like this streak has finally properly come to an end.
And that was the other question we have for 9Z. Are they going to be able to put an end to FURIA Snowball? Certainly looking like it. They're melting the snow. Dave is taking out K-Serrato. Safe also melted down by the AK.
It's a force buy, remember?
Yeah, and they're trying to go for this quick pounce. FURIA try and pop their way out towards the site. Once it's stifled, once that initial pace is taken out of the round, the sting's completely gone. But Drop has actually slipped down the vent. Could commit to the plant, but decided to stick around in the vent to see if anybody dropped after him. He's going to get some money if he... Oh, he's not going to commit to it. He's actually going to go for the kills, and only one for him. Would like the plant.
Probably, you know, if he got both those players, picks up a gun, you know, there's a highlight moment right there, you know, potential 1v.
You have options. You have commit to the bomb plant instead of holding for the vent drop and get the money confirmed, or commit to the bomb plant.
They weren't going to be going for the buy anyway, right? Even with the bomb plant coming in, it would
gives you a better chance though, for sure.
Yeah, but it's a light buy. It would have gone for the eco nonetheless. But for 9Z, a little bit of resurgence, able to stop the streak, and not to stop the streak, string a few rounds together of their own as well, which is massive for them, especially confidence. Luken, oh, brave. Nice shot to save. He sees two. He sees two and hunting him down. His teammates are around though, and Luken, he is, I won't say he's panicking because he's hitting everything. It looks like panic. It's not. It's a movement of a god. Although those are all eco frags, Dinko. With an AWP, it counts as a normal frag.
He just commits red box against pistols.
I know.
And just, yeah, it's fine. Just bring the AWP outside. They have a spare gun on the floor, though. There's Nog being wasted over there in the corner. But here we get to see Luken again. The jump spot to get the info. Just repositioning. He should have been killed a long time ago, Blood.
But he has teammate as well. But the fact is hitting some really, really nasty flicks. It's some really good stuff coming out. So 9Z back in the lead after what feels like forever. 6-5. And especially if Luken is gonna try and do his best simple impression here on the CT side, that's when I'm like, okay, we might have a mapper in hand here. Because FURIA looked like they were just gonna be running away with the second half. Sorry, the first half.
Yeah, I love how Luken is gradually throughout this tournament turned into a really stylish AWPer, right? The first day you're like, oh, he hasn't actually delivered the same sort of impact you want out of him. He hasn't really lived up to the hopes that we would see from him replacing Try, but damn, he is really starting to look very exciting as this tournament goes on. It's now 9Z in the lead. FURIA back to the AKs. Utility out there as well, and Drop has their first kill of the round. It's short-lived though. That advantage is pulled back by Max, who actually has committed ramp with his teammate, but they will start to alleviate some of that pressure because FURIA are now turning their attentions to a possible A-pop.
Safe getting neutralized as well by Rocks. Just spamming away. And that's one Danger Man taken care of. Still have yuurih, Art, and Drop alive for FURIA. What are they going to be doing here? Making a lot of noise here is Art as usual, but this time he's not being sneaky. He's trying to sell this presence towards outside. Well, is he going to be walking through the smoke? No, he's not. In the meantime, the bomb on the back of yuurih, just holding towards the lobby, waiting for 9Z to maybe go for a play. But for 9Z, the 4 versus 2, there's no need for them to get over eager, try and find any information. Just hold on to these sites and set up a crossfires. Even have a player towards ramp. And Rox looking at the worst time possible. Art's just teasing him while his teammates come on out. But Rox is very well aware of what the play is going to be. And he is going to find a kill, but not before he gets taken down. DGT just peers around the corner. Timing doesn't work out for luken, and suddenly, somehow, it's a 2v2.
Yeah, 35 seconds. Luken's AWP is still on the server, so with that, a real chance. Luken decides to dive down out of heaven. 27 seconds left. Art still up on this side. His teammate beside him. 9Z have split up at this point. One on the upper side, one down lower, which means that rotation, of course, has to come in quickly from the lower side player to get back to help out, especially with looking in close quarters with this AWP. You can't just have that quick run-in mentality. You have to wait on your teammate to get into position. So this gives FURIA some time to get into a better position. But if they cross over into luken scope, this is a 1v1. And that's an easy kill for luken. And now suddenly it is just Art left alone. A 1 versus 2 for the leader of FURIA. He goes in towards the hut. This position could isolate it into a 1v1 if the spacing's off, and it's the first headshot. Now just one for Art. He's running out of ammo, and he's got it! Art clutches it out for FURIA as they tie up 6-6.
The 1v2, he finds the first player in the form of luken. He knew where the Molotov came in from. He knew exactly where Max was. He was running out of bullets as well. The sounds being made by his AK-47. Max was aware, but the one bullet he needed to land on the noggin, he indeed does. And what a clutch coming in there from Art. This is a huge round from Art. He made everything happen there because 9Z had that one shut down. They were 4v3 up. They really didn't have any entry into either of the two sides, did FURIA. And somehow they're able to crack it open thanks to the mad genius of Art. Here we go though. Max playing the smoke, but they're aware that smoke can afford a one-way, and yuurih is gonna decapitate Max. Luken, however, able to trade.
Yeah, Luken's looking for a follow-up. Searching for his second kill of the round, unable to get it, so it's now DGT under pressure as they group up and charge down the ramp, but he handles the pressure, he does not crack. David, unfortunately, does get bested, so FURIA able to equalize out the numbers again. Rox actually gets the timing to push forward without getting spotted by yuurih. So if they drop back and try and go back into the lobby, it's not going to be easy. Does yuurih check this? Doesn't look like it. If Rox plays a little bit more proactive and forward-thinking, don't think he will, given his position. At this point, if you commit into that, you might get caught out, so he's not going to get the info. They are grouping up to walk down into ramp, but DGT is ready. Problem is he's 9 HP. So finding that multi-kill potential is very difficult on low health. DGT holds position. Is he going to select the right angle to hold? Is he going to get caught by the timing? I think he might too. Bly finally turns back. It's the first headshot and safe, and he actually has the cover to play for more. At least it buys a little bit of time, and that kill turns it into the 2v2.
Bomb gonna be planted here. And Rox making his way towards Decon. He's gonna wait. Oh, he's not gonna wait. Just the door's open. It's a jaw. And yuurih swatting him out. And Drop just trying to find a second player. They have no idea where he's coming from. And it's of course luken with the AWP. While Rox is just baiting out a shot.
yuurih.
But yuurih is aware. He's no fool. He's not gonna fall for it. He's gonna find luken. And Rox now left alone in the 1 versus 2. Is he gonna...
No way.
No way.
Not like this.
No way.
Oh, he's taking it. Bros don't back. That is ridiculous. 9Z steal it away. FURIA. Oh, the pain. 7-6. 9Z. That is a pure steal. And it's giving them a chance back into this.
They just stole it right underneath their noses, Dinko.
How does he sit down with balls that big?
Third-degree burns, and he even gets him with the shot. Just a millisecond, a nanosecond too late. And somehow 9Z, they win that one. I don't even know how, dude.
You know what? If all else, every option's gone, I'm just gonna hold the E. And the FURIA.
I mean, that is the only option available at that point, right?
Yeah, if FURIA just don't peek him. Like, yeah, we'll just molly him. Wow, incredible. 9Z are gonna be counting their lucky stars. That is not a round they should have won.
And in fact, in that 2v2, FURIA played it to perfection, right? They knew Rox was baiting out a shot. They knew luken was going to be sneaking in from somewhere. And because Drop was holding towards the control room, they knew it was going to be a ramp play coming in. So yuurih read it to perfection. And then, of course, it just gets stolen away. Max pushing up aggressively.
Oh.
I think they know. They know, but what a shot from Max. Fine save. Is looking for more, but Art running in through the flames to commit to the trade.
That is the kind of fearless play you need out of Art. And Safe goes down again, Blood. Now, he was a star on Nuke just a couple of days ago. Now 4-11. If he can start to have more impact for FURIA, that could be great, but 9Z doing a great job at sort of silencing him, neutralizing his effect that he can have. FURIA get that outside control. They get a player down in secret. It is yuurih with the AWP. He's not actually down secret. I believe he's holding towards Hell, having to appear there. So, yeah, he can lock down this position with his AWP, while his teammates are still moving forward. They might just contact down B here, leave that one lurk of Kesserado up in this upper site, trying to cut off rotations. They look down here, though, Bloods. DGT down on the lower site.
I feel very uncomfortable with all the positions of the CTs, right? Like DGT's position over there, it's a do or die spot. Like if he gets spotted, and even if he finds one, he's going to get immediately traded from Decon or wherever. The other three members all turtle up inside of the site. But yeah, it's DGT's position, which it's looking rough. Although, first they need to they need to break the window, they need to open the double doors, they need to open the decon, and that's going to be the tell for DGT. This is where he needs to focus. Is Kesserado holding the backlines towards the lobby, and 90 is feeling antsy. 20 seconds.
DGT, the play that's been absolutely fantastic for 9Z. Can he hold the site? First is in for him. Second is good as well. And it is looking done here for FURIA. This time, not good enough. DGT has shut down the play single-handedly. And FURIA are not able to bounce back immediately. They have to be careful they don't die after the time here. That would be an absolute disaster. And luckily, most of them stay up. But, blah. That is the opportunity. Okay, yes, you lose to the defuse, the ninja defuse somehow. And then suddenly, you have a chance still for FURIA to make up for that mistake. And they don't do it. 9Z capitalize on the chance and now go to 8 rounds.
The fact that there were, I think, like three players of FURIA downstairs. The way they just swung the door open, just no utility being used, nothing, and no one went towards Decon as well. DGT had no business just shutting that down single-handedly. So yeah, FURIA getting maybe a little too paranoid there, but doesn't really matter as we're going to be having a little bit of an early skirmish breaking out towards the upper side. 2 players slowly making their way down towards the vents. I think Max spotted a couple of ankles there. But right now 3v3 as Max is going to be falling down towards secret to bolster the defense. DGT catches Art on the cross. He's looking for more, and DGT is a beast who has been unleashed to drop left alone 1v3 to deny 9Z the 9th round.
Climbing down the ladder. Drop begins to search for the first step into the clutch. A young player added into the team. Decided to keep him in place of Vinny. If he can pull off a clutch like this, he could certainly show why. Max holds a good angle. Drop begins to clear it. Takes initial damage and Max gets away. Now the numbers know where he is, and it's 9-6 at the half. 9Z are giving us a real game, and their championship dreams to go to the final, they're still alive. Welcome back to ESL Challenger 48. It's the first and final half for 9Z. They look incredible. Like, they are looking fantastic, blood. No one expected them to be able to compete today. In fact, no one expected them to be able to compete in the tournament. And now they're on Nuke, another map where we thought was going to be too much for them, but they are leading the way going into the second half.
Absolutely. Miracles can indeed happen. Luken was just a beast on the CD side there with the AWP, but this is a harder challenge than go T side. Nuke against the wall of FURIA. Early smoke being expended here, and
that's not a good start for 9Z at all. Art with a good pick. FURIA, we've seen what they can do when they get on the CT side. They win the pistol blood. They can start to really snowball. We'll see if yuurih's dual Berettas can get any action. You love to see yuurih's always picking up the dualies.
If Moses is watching right now, he's excited, and there we go, the dualies finds one, almost gets a second kill, but he will be hunted down. David with the 1 and the 2, and looking for more. Is he safe? Getting gushed in the face, and KSerrato waiting. Look at David just hunting down safe. Nowhere can he hide, and KSerrato, though, still lying in wait.
Yeah, KSerrato coming back up the vent. A little bit of a quiet first half from his own performance, but CT side he can really light up. If he gets a start in the pistol, certainly can be a factor, but his pistol poked through the vent, but it doesn't even matter. KSerrato still in with a kill, and now it's suddenly DGT. 1 versus 2, looking for the clutch. What a fantastic player he has been throughout this competition. To get them 10 rounds, he goes for the pistol, and now he draws them back. They force him further back into hut and drop is sticking, and he's got a kit in his back. That is it, stolen away. Pistol will go to FURIA. DGT needed to fight him, and unfortunately couldn't quite get it done, and nearly finds the follow-up on the way out, but FURIA, they will win the pistol the second half.
Well, they lost 1 to the defuse, and they win 1 to the defuse as well. Counter-Strike, give it and take it, Dinko, in equal measure.
Wasn't quite as
it wasn't as quite as exciting as that one. Yeah, that was a 1v2 in their favor, and this was a 2... Well, this is also 1v2 in their favor, actually. Yeah. Actually, yeah, very similar. But here we go, FURIA winning the pistol second half, as they would be looking to close the gap here between 9Z and themselves. And of course, just a 2-round difference, right? So they're going to be feeling mighty confident. Full rifles for FURIA, meaning the utility is extremely sparse, Dinko. Only the 1 smoke which is going to be utilized as DGT is able to find 1, but simultaneously Art is going to find 2 with that AUG, just tapping, bursting, spraying away through the smoke, and finding 2 souls to claim.
Art still has a bit of a specialty with the AUG, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pushes through the smoke, finds another pick. David just getting spammed down, and Art is hunting him. Oh, he's thrown away his gun. He's found an AK in the midst of it, and of course, he wins that duel.
The 4K shut down on the... It was a forced buy, though. It wasn't just like an eco mop-up coming in there from
that's important to know.
Yep, and now they're going to have a very easy, comfortable time. Oh, that was a quick reaction. That was a very quick reaction from Art there.
I love this play. Just runs through the main smoke, and then this is even more mental. Still makes it work, of course. Art up to 16 kills now. He's actually leading the way for his team. Luken still the top fragger on the server, but a mere 1 kill now separates him and Art. We'll see what 9Z decide to do in this round. It's heavy numbers towards outside. Looking up on Silo, 3 of his teammates down towards red. Sith. Now, this is the half we have to see more out of him, right? This is the half where he needs to start delivering some of that impact we've seen on day 1 of this competition.
Shadow spotted there by Art, but he got so tunnel vision that Rox is able to get the kill. These Deegs. Dirty Deegs, and they're getting it done pretty cheap. Bomb is... They just forgotten the bomb. They're like, we just gotta go for the kills. But now that...
They didn't expect to get this far, blood.
Exactly. Now they found a couple of kills. Like, oh, well, what do we do right now? The classic case, you know, dog chasing the car.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. That's the reference I was bringing up. Yeah, and now you're like, they catch the car. They're like, what do we do now? It's too big to bury. Well, the C4 will be retrieved, thankfully, for the side of 9Z. Right now, it's about dealing as much damage as they can, right? Because the previous round was a very clinical shutdown coming in from FURIA. This is supposed to be the bank building round for FURIA, but if they're able to take away maybe 1 more rifle, they can leave that economy a bit brittle and enable them to kind of break it eventually when their buy comes in. For the time being, the FURIA, they're very far away from each other. Luken slowly making his way in. yuurih holding towards ramp, spots the player out with feast spray, but doesn't matter. Finds both, and even the Luken has snuck his way into its control room. Doesn't really matter, because the bomb is dropped, and he is dead.
yuurih just assassinates him through the window. Good haul from him, good recovery for FURIA. 2 players go down, but Counter-Strike, that can often happen. So 9-9, score is tied up now. FURIA with a good start in this second half, similar to that of Ancient. Here comes an incredibly important round for 9Z. If they want to continue to stay in this game, I feel like they've never... They can't let FURIA get into a situation where they're streaking rounds together. They have to constantly have this back and forth or gain momentum of their own. This gun round, I feel like, needs to go their way.
They don't have the AWP in the hands of luken, however. And he's someone who doesn't shy away from going for the AWP on the T side, but this time the AK-47 and K-Serrado has taken so much damage. Down to a measly 5 points of health, but Drop finds rocks. The amount of smoke kills FURIA have been getting thus far on this map has just been ridiculous.
Yeah, it's cool they're using Drop as the ramp player, as one of the more inexperienced players. It's quite a
He's been playing ramp for a while now.
Yeah, it's a position where you can kind of get manipulated a lot of the time, but Drop always does a sufficient job in that spot.
Yeah, Drop doesn't quite shine like a K-Serrado does, or like an Odd, or even a Safe Might, but he is that, like, as a young player coming in, he is the guy who just does his job right. And that's the sort of player you need towards ramp, right? You don't need to get like a highlight clip every single time you have a hit coming in. Find one, drop back down. But this, he's going to go for the full commit. Are they going to be expecting this angle is the question, and he is going to find David. The second peek comes out, the spacing was good, but the timing was off. And Drop, he's still holding the angle. He still doesn't even need any backup, but finally, luken will find him, but Drop has done the damage. Dinko 4 versus 2, and Max and luken have a lot to do, and 35 seconds on the clock. I'm not feeling it.
Blaz not a believer for this one.
Not this round.
We'll see if luken and Max could somehow recover this 2v4 such limited time. luken doesn't have the bomb in his back. He'll begin to walk his way down the ramp. Art is ready to make a quick rotation down. He'll sprint to the decon door if a plan is to come through, and seems like 9Z have decided it is done. It is not going to be a competitive round at all. They have saved this one away. AK-47 is going into play, and FURIA will go to 10 rounds. They take the lead, and the first team on our last map to reach double figures. Oh, important that the luken doesn't go down after the time. Be able to save that AK.
Because the rest of them can still afford some Deegs and the armor and utility. I still want to see them do what FURIA did to them in the few streak of rounds they had, right? Just go for an upper hit, right? Don't have to necessarily respect the Molotovs and incendiaries being lobbed, and just throw in a smoke, have a guy outside, just drop a couple of flashbangs, try and bring the chaos to FURIA, because they have shown they can go toe-to-toe with them when it comes to just the sheer firepower and just kind of pugging it out at times. Safe in the meantime, getting blinded, but not able to spot anyone out. Max, though. Yeah, he's made a footstep. Art knows exactly where he is, and Safe might actually peer out further wide.
Now, this is the position we've seen Safe deliver the impact from.
There we go.
When he gets the AWP and he plays Garage, he can be so perfect. Just precision, kill after kill. We'll see if that is the case here. They begin to cross. One straight onto Safe. You can see how aware 9Z aware of how Safe likes to play this position. Almost takes him out of play, but Safe is quick enough to get out of dodge. Art goes down to the lower side. He's quickly coming up on these secret stairs, and this could result in a kill for Art. If he spots out the player at red, he will. And that is David down to 10 HP.
The Molotov's going to flush him out, but thankfully there was no one holding a particular angle to David. Finding himself a semblance of cover for the time being, but GT on 6 HP as well, Dinko. This is... It's just not looking good at all for 9Z, even though it's just a one-man advantage.
It's that same sort of slowed down playstyle, right?
We saw an Ancient.
Yes, there's no decisiveness. It's just allowing FURIA to pick you apart piece by piece, and you need this sort of unit and cohesive idea. You can't let this just start to flounder yet again.
Floundering they are. DGT is going to be holding towards lobby. This is the guy who's very low in health and with the deagle. Meanwhile, Rox and luken have a lot to do. luken has been fantastic. Safe. Oh. If he hit that, I would be very, very annoyed.
I would have sent him, you know, a sprint wrist pack just to make sure he was all good. Put some ice on that.
This can make life very uncomfortable here for the player, but running out of the open, R will be found. So 3v3 still doable. Nuke finds K-Serrado as well, but Drop to the rescue. 5 seconds, round's done. Round 11 for FURIA. And again, right, there's a lack of conviction. There's a lack of, I don't know what it is, but they seem to be just waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for a sign.
It feels like there's no playmakers. They are willing to go in the early round. Like, there's no one's just doing the dirty work right now. It seems like most people are just sitting back and without really a real decision. And when they do decide to go for a play, it's often with poor spacing or they get caught early in the 1-versus-1 fight. And it comes back to the start of the round. They were very, very close to actually taking down Safe. They did good damage to him. He was just a bit quicker on the trigger.
I do have the tactical timeout. You know, it's called by 9Z, and I know they have Zach
Tech pause.
It's tech pause, yeah. But I do want them to call the tactical timeout, and I know they have Zach as their coach, ex-Immortals coach a few years ago. You know, really, really sweet guy. A nice guy. He's got a good mind for the game, and I want him to like this. Look, you don't need to make things complicated right now, right? You don't have to call for like, oh, do this, do that. You know, this is the execute I want you to go for, but more like you said, you know, find a couple of players. Like, listen. Run in bullheaded, leave Luken, DGT, and David to play out the clutch.
And this is the perfect kind of round for Max to do it, right? He's got a Mac 10.
He's IGL.
Yeah, just go on in. Just go all in. Just try and fry it open. And well, Safe, Fool getting dinked up. Actually still commits to the kill and he's sticking around. He wants to follow up.
I thought it'd do more damage. He just took 7 points of damage.
Yeah, CSGO.
Well, Drop though. He's gonna try and keep them at bay. You're just moving around. I love how Drop
Safe is in the vent. Safe is in the vent for the AWP, and he's able to come away with a kill. Max down. 2 kills now. 9Z, if they found it difficult on their T sides at the beginning of the round, try and deal with a 2-man deficit.
And the thing is, like, Drop, right? The way he's just moving around ramp, he's not being predicted. Like, you can't predict him at all. He's not. Sometimes he's playing way more passively, holding that one and done spot, getting a 2K. This time, he's just keeping them back towards the trophy cabinet area, not able to push on. And yeah, and then you have Safe, you know, getting a kill, despite being dinged, dropping down towards vents all alone, hunting the player down. And yeah, sure, he's down to 18 HP, but it doesn't really matter. And 9Z just spamming away, hoping to deal a little bit of damage, but FURIA, they're on top of the chaos right now, 11-9, and 9Z, as you said, 2-man deficit. Where did it go from here? They have a smoke, they have a Molotov. Slowly poking towards ramp, which has been given up. Yeah, it's been given up. With 5 players around, there's so many angles to check there, man. And you don't have time. There's 27 seconds. You have to just go in for the full commit.
Well, the bomb is still on David's back, and he is going up heaven.
Okay.
20 seconds, David.
It's a fake.
You gotta just save now at this point. Unless you make the sprint down to B, if Luken gets this kill, maybe there's enough time to get down into the site. If David can get across safely, he's going to charge down.
They can plant.
He can get onto the site. Rox has been taken out of play, so there's the numbers down again, and David down. That's not enough time anymore. Luken left in a 1v4, and they might just kill him after the time, just before the time yuurih commits to the kill. And yeah, this is starting to get real scary now for 9Z. This is FURIA in full effect on their CT side.
A little bit furious as well, seemingly. Like, there was nothing wrong in the way 9Z approached the last few seconds of that round. It's more like, what are you doing for the earlier rounds? It's not like they were slowly moving on ahead, trying to get some real estate going their way, but no, they're just like holding and waiting with something, and FURIA's not going to push. They don't need, it's a 5 versus 3. There's no need for them to really go for any info gathering plays. They can just hold the usual angles and wait. And yeah, like I said, in the end, bomb gets dropped, there's no time remaining, and 9Z... I want them to like, win or lose, I want them to go for like a more emphatic play right now. They've tried going this. The criticism we had from of Order's T-side on Nuke a couple of days back was the fact that they used to have a game plan. They'll have an execute they have in mind, and they'll just go for it at the get-go. But they don't really have a, you know, they don't really have a mid-round, so to speak. And if the execute didn't quite pan out, if the Molotov got extinguished, they would still go for the full commit. They didn't slow things down, they didn't play the default. I had the complete opposite criticism of the way 9Z is approaching this. They playing the defaults, but then they're taking too long for something to happen around the map. Instead, they just lose players, and they wait, stick around, 30 seconds, then
and they run out of options as well.
And then you have to go for a bit of gambly plays as well. There's certain angles you just can't clear. You don't have the time to clear, right? And it's not quite panning out. And if this is going to play this way, FURIA, they're just going to run away with this.
And that has been the problem since day one with 9Z. Think back to the VP matchup, right? It was a T-sided showing. In the first couple of rounds, you could see when they played the default, they would often look disjointed and never really know how to put it all together, how to put it together to the point where you finish with a solid idea, with the numbers still up, with an execute. They didn't really get to that point. They started playing simple Counter-Strike. They started doing spawn-based play. They had executes out of A spawn, you know, at B spawn. They were just doing these simple team hits. They did that a few rounds in their T-side of Ancient, and it worked pretty decently. I mean, the only rounds they really picked up is when they hit the A site with numbers these simple rounds work for 9Z where they have one clear plan and everybody's on board. When you're playing this default, it's been a problem for them, and it has been throughout this tournament. It is not going to get easier as FURIA look to try and post 13. 9Z don't have a whole lot of money, so their buy is decent enough. It's still potent, but it's really next round we're looking to get a buy out of 9Z.
Still have a few opportunities though, right? Like FURIA is still
yeah.
at 12 rounds, still have to get to the golden number of 16. Oh, that is pace. That is pace.
That's very fast.
And it's a great flashbang as well.
Yeah, Safe needs to be careful here with this AWP. If he charges through the hell window, maybe he has a shot, but close quarters with his op, Luken could certainly remove Safe from play. Tech9 creeps around Safe. Oh! How does he do that? Safe just somehow flicks back. Luken goes down and Safe close quarters again! Another shot, this time on the rocks. He's just so good in these close quarter situations. Blood just hits every shot.
All of them are fast scopes, by the way.
Yeah.
Not even relying on RNG. No scopes. Art, though, who's feeling adventurous, spots the third player out, spins around immediately, but Max, good timing on that to take him down, gets the trade. DGT waiting for yuurih to go for the play, but the moment he moves his crosshair a little bit, the timing could not have been worse. So Max, they know exactly where he is. The only thing going for him is he's got the Kevlar, he's got that helmet, and he's got the beautifully blue M4A1S.
Yeah, the blue phosphor, I believe it was called, but
I don't know the name. Oh, it's got a blue knife as well. That
oh,
goes
he is
well.
balling. Yeah, this is great. It's going with his country's flag as well, Uruguay representing. This is like a Copa America match, like Brazil versus everyone else. Oh, drop removes Max. But I like this idea of this round from 9Z, Blood. You know, yeah, the idea is pretty cool. Theoretically, it works. You get pistols, you have pace, and you try and overwhelm the AWPer.
Jesus.
Pity it's Safe. That's very difficult to overwhelm.
That shot, dude. I know, like, he's been comparatively a little quiet thus far, because you saw on the T side, he wasn't really opping much either, but when you see... But I remember a Safe flick, you know?
Yeah, you do. You remember Safe flick. You do remember Luken as well on the AWP, but he doesn't have it right now. It's rifles. Does this mean there's a quick little play towards outside? They're going with the execute. This is what we asked for, but there's a massive gap. Art didn't get his gun out. Art did not have his gun out. He had a chance for a kill, but decided to switch to some utility and then gets caught out of position. So Caserados had to make that quick rotation down into the vent.
Pace. Pace from 9Z.
Speed.
Can they do more? Oh, once again, they slow it down. This time, this makes more sense, I think, because they have the man advantage. You can expect FURIA to go poking and prodding to try and gather the information, right? That is what they're waiting for over here. Earlier, when they slowed things down, it was FURIA had the advantage. Here we go, to Safe. He's going to be holding the angle, finds rocks, Molotov as well, to prevent the potential trade from taking place. yuurih up close and personal. He's going to go running ahead. Caserados save. yuurih will continue to push on ahead further. I'm not too sure why he went for that one, and that's going to allow 9Z to neutralize the man advantage and drop with the flag.
Here we go.
This is God tier. Both are pushing in.
This could be just an absolute shutdown, but oh no! Will they expect the second player? There's two there, though. Play and they will! They turn around and find him as well. That looked dead to rights, and now it's on to Safe for the clutch. David's giving him a chance here. Does Safe predict the wide angle?
No, there's no... Oh my god, he's still new. He's so good, but yeah, this round, this one is done, and I'm glad 9Z were able to switch things up a little bit, right? Aggression coming out. Not a big fan of yuurih just running out, trying to get the second kill. I mean, he did his job, you know, protecting Caserados. They could have fallen back. And that 3 plays on the upper bomb side, right? And for drop, the timing, nice shot there. But in the end, not to be, as 9Z finally win a round. The first round of T side here.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. This is the same scenario really as Ancient, right? It's like they have a very good first half, and then their T side struggles begin. But this time, I feel like it's a little different. They actually had a plan in that round, which was just a standard outside execute. The smokes are kind of bad, actually. I think the molly from FURIA, I believe it was FURIA's molly, they actually destroyed the smoke setup, so there was a gap created. Actually give Art a really good opportunity to open up with the first pick. He gets caught with utility. 9Z capitalized on that opportunity, and obviously, the FURIA play with drop, that should have worked. That really should have worked. But 9Z given at least a lifeline here in this game.
Yeah, drop. He just took those shots, right? He could have waited like one more second, walked up, but I can totally understand why he went for it. Well, for the side of FURIA, though, money is far from a problem, so the buy is going to be in AWP once more in the hands of Mr. Safe. For 9Z, the switch up, it's gone back to Old Faithful, which in all honesty really hasn't worked out for them much. Playing this one way more passively as usual. A little bit presence from Odd towards outside. And this feels like a much more of a standard round from both the teams, right? Like a little bit of smokes blooming outside from 9Z. Maybe trying to confuse FURIA a little bit, trying to force them to go for a peek. But you can see they're not really trying to go for any map control. No one towards secret, no one towards outside as well. Just holding the angles, waiting for FURIA to go for a play. And they're going to wait till the 1 minute mark. But at a 1 minute mark, that's when I want to see them go for a play. And looking at the way they're slowly climbing up the ladders, an up a hit could be interesting. And for the CT side, they have just one incendiary in the hands of Art.
Yeah, they won't be able to slow down the pace if it is good from 9Z. If the spacing is good, this executor is going to be difficult to deal with for FURIA. Swings out, Kesterada forced out of his position. Art, oh, such a good position. Art comes away with 2, and he has stifled the attack of 9Z completely. They were just charging through the doorway, but Art now has the bomb.
He didn't even need the incendiary, Dinko. The rifle does all the work. Bomb drop, no man's land, 30 seconds on the clock. DGT, who has been the hero for the side of 9Z, has a lot of work to do. They won't be checking the angle, and this is such an incredibly solid crossfire. Safe, he's not going to miss those. Yuurih's going to strike. He doesn't even go for the full commit.
Art's
a little bit of geometry with the nade, a little too short of where he was, but... Oh, Safe misses a shot. There's a chance. There's a chance, but luken will be put down. They're out of time. They're out of luck. And DGT is out of there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just FURIA just clearing out that closed door position. It was 9Z not really checking for Art. They had got the kill in Kesterado. Felt like it was just W gang right into the site. And Art's just sitting there in the corner, just ready for them to come on by. They don't even look at him, and they're 2 easy kills for Art. And they actually were separated off by that smoke, so it's not like they could just keep sending legions of players into Art's crosshair. So they called off the attack, and Art then realizes the position they're in. It's solid. Gets his teammates into a good spot. FURIA recover the round. 2 away from the grand final here at ESL Challenger 48.
Two away, and for 9Z, oh, Dinko, they've gone for it. They've gone for the full commit buy. They don't want to play for OT. They want to stop FURIA at 14. They want to get that 16 and just close out regulation if they can, but they still need to first win 4 in a row to tie things up. And it's looking grim. And all honesty, dropped a brilliant shot onto rocks.
Oh, dropped another one.
Just no chance to trade. He is so solid towards round.
And he's so confident. That smoke has a little gap in it. Maybe to try and pull them in. A little trick, deceiving piece of utility. Try and pull them in. It drops crosshair for the 3rd, but very confident, proactive player on the ramp, really aware of all of the ways he can play it. But look at Safe, another missed shot. Moving slightly upon taking it. That's at least a lifeline being given to 9Z. It isn't much, but it is something at least. 3 versus 5. It's in a doable position, but certainly difficult. Max needs to find some space. He needs to create it. Yuurih's not peeking for the information, but once Kesterado gets checked, Yuurih is so ready to swing out and just catch them. That Molly trying to pull Kesterado into the open, into the fight. He's burning. He will go down without a fight. And so Yuurih at the back of the site has much more pressure. He's down as well. And somehow 3 kills in quick succession for 9Z. Art begins to come up the vent. That nade thrown by Yuurih at the end actually brings the numbers back down into the 2v2. But yes, time certainly a factor here for 9Z. Drop at Heaven has rotated back from his initial ramp position. Art still in the vent, covering off that fallback plan for 9Z, so it is a commit to the A side. Drop realizes if he can get the chance here to shut down the bomb plan, things could just be a nightmare. He doesn't deny, but he gets both. Drop shuts it down with a 4K. It's 15 for FURIA. 1 more round, and they're in the grand final. A little bit of BM, you love to see it. Competitive spirit blood.
I listen, I love everything about this. But
yeah!
Someone's defusing?
They're gonna forget, and then that's...
Oh, there we go, someone's defusing. Can I just say,
G2 blood.
I love what Art did there, though, right? Like, just making a lot of noise on the ladder, and that couple of seconds they needed, that's when Drop just strikes, and... Alright, Drop, he expends every single bullet in his magazine, in both his guns, deservedly so. That was a huge round from Drop. First, he shuts down ramp completely, and thanks to the distraction being provided by Art towards fence, they're able to clutch that one out. Map and match point for the Dark Horse, the Dark Panther, the Black Panther of the tournament in FURIA. Looking to close this one out in style.
Let's see if they can close it, or will 9Z, this tenacious team that came in with absolutely no expectations upon their shoulders. This surprised everybody at every turn. Do they have more in them? Or is this the end of the path? Max crosses with the outside smoke spot down already in secret. Good bit of map control collected early for 9Z.
One potential final round from 9Z. One chance to still show what they have. Listen, win or lose, they've impressed me, man. They've made a fan out of me, and I think everyone's going to be paying attention. A debut tournament, losing an IGL, they're the best player, and you take FURIA all the way to map number 3, and even if you lose, it's one of their best maps, Nuke, right? So definitely a team I'm going to be keeping an eye out for. South America has so many good teams and players, but it's still not quite done yet. Art could be in a rough position here, but it's going to find Max, assassinates him with a bullet through his head.
Yeah, Art also has teammates down here on the lower site. Rock's in the vent with the bomb. Does he rejoin his teammates on the upper side of the map, or do they try and work their way down to him? Timing on Safe's look away has actually just allowed David to get into a good position. Rock brings down Art. Safe actually looked back down into the ramp room. Doesn't look like he found anything, but DGT certainly will.
He doesn't know.
He's drawn the kills back, but they weren't ready for yuurih. Of course, at the back of his comfortable position inside of the A site, Safe is being removed out of the round, and suddenly it's all drop. A 1 versus 3 to try and close this.
One more round for 9Z. They still want to play, Denko. They're still not quite ready to open up that console and type and quit in the game. They still want to show what they have here, and yeah, great kills coming in. That looked very, very dicey, but the way DGT was able to somehow sneak his way into the site and take down the player inside of Hut. Drop, though, he has been fantastic thus far, but even he realizes that this is one attempt he really doesn't want to go for. Looking at the money for FURIA, you can clearly see they have suffered quite a few casualties in the rounds they've won, but they can eke out a buy here. Safe can purchase a gun for himself. I'm assuming he might just go for a rifle, just so Drop can actually drop 2 rifles to his teammates, one to K-Serrado, one to yuurih, and Art can maybe purchase, I don't know, a shotgun or SMG for himself, I guess. But if I'm FURIA, looking at the scoreline 15-11, I just go for the pistol upgrades. I don't go for a full-fledged gun force buy, because why do you want to do that? Why do you want to handicap yourself, right? Let them win one more round. It's okay. You're going to have multiple opportunities. I say that, and Art says no.
Look at this buy, though. It's still pretty good. Problem is they don't have a whole lot of utility.
That's what I was thinking. And Nuke, well, you want those incendiaries.
Yeah. They've got a plan out their sleeve, but it is FURIA after all. Drop had around 7k at the beginning of this round. Drops on over. Manages a pretty good buy out of this. Art is very good on the SMG, so MP9 in his hands, especially with some of the close quarter fights he can get himself involved in, can still deliver that impact, but certainly going to be the utility factor that I'm intrigued about. They have managed out 3 incendiaries. That could be enough. Is selected properly. 9Z, I'm more intrigued as to how this round is going to start for them. A lot of successful rounds for them have involved outside executes. Art looking to be disruptive. Throws the net in towards the door. Smoked out in front of him. K-Serrado will now take position to watch that squeaky door from the top of Hut.
K-Serrado.
David needs to be careful. K-Serrado with the first kill of play. yuurih with the follow-up. FURIA into a 2-man advantage. Luken diving down, realizing numbers are needed here for 9Z. They've got to plug the hole.
They have to plug it immediately here. DGT. K-Serrado, are they going to be expecting him to be holding the same angle despite being tagged down to 22 HP? Finally, he drops on down. yuurih playing a very, very brave position there. They need to find something, and something will be found. DGT immediately dispatches of yuurih, and Max joining the fray as well. They're looking to open up the site. Still need to take care of K-Serrado, who's very, very low, but somehow seemingly impervious to the bullets. Finally, he falls to the no-scope from luken, but Art's going to find DGT. 3v2.
Oh, Safe, he's had multiple chances, but he's missing the shots, and now he can't miss. Shot out to the left side, and Drop will close it. 16-11. FURIA are our first grand finalists here at ESL Challenger 48. They take down the tenacious 9Z. What a run from the South American underdogs, but it has come to a close at the hands of the Brazilians.
FURIA might have won the series, but I think 9Z won all our hearts.